Hi, I'm the Storyteller, and today I am going to tell you about a movie called Look Who Is Back, about a famous person who was fallen into our days. Fabian Zawadzki makes a documentary about the lives of children from disadvantaged areas. Three boys are distracted from filming and run after the ball through the bushes. They find Adolf Hitler lying on the ground in a military uniform. Hitler does not understand how he ended up in this place, because a second ago he was in his bunker. He is trying to find out from the kids where his supporters have gone, but they think he is crazy. Fabian calls the boys back to finish his film, and Hitler leaves. Passers-by mistake him for a street artist disguised as Hitler. The Fuhrer asks for help from the young mother, but she allows a pepper spray in his face and leaves, completely disorientated, and then he falls. The Fuhrer is picked up by the owner of the kiosk and dragged inside. Fabian returns to work in the editorial office of a private TV channel, where disappointing news awaits him. But for now, he is satisfied and flirting with a girl sitting in the waiting room. At this time, the head of the channel announced the personal reshuffle of the former head of the department, Christopher Asensio, who is removed from office, and in his place is put the ambitious Katia Bellini. After the meeting, Christopher was not on the mood and therefore enjoyed doing what he had been going to do for a long time. He was simply thrown out a Fabian of the office of the TV channel. Owner of the newsstand helped the Fuhrer recover, it's him and allows him to read newspapers. From the newspaper, Hitler learns that Germany is not in the best position now. Fabian was out of work, he is desperate, he is sitting in his mom's house watching the material for the movie. His mother sees in the background a man who looks like Hitler, but Fabian doesn't remember this man. He is in a hurry to find the unknown. Meanwhile, the owner of the kiosk advises Hitler to wash his clothes. The Fuhrer goes to dry cleaning, distributes a jacket and the rest of his uniform, and in turn puts on modern clothes. When he returns to the kiosk, Fabian is already waiting for him. He sees an actor who is similar to the real Hitler in the ability to make a new brilliant film. He invites the Fuhrer to ride with him through the country where Adolf will talk to the ordinary people, and Fabian will shoot all this and edit the film. Fabian borrowed money from his mother and took her car to make a new film. Fabian is amazed at how accustomed this actor is to the role, and Hitler is increasingly wondering where his country is going. The many experts on TV for fools on the street and anyone he talks to complaining about Germany's poor quality of life, while Fabian interviewing the owner of the dog, and he asked the dog for rent. Adolf played with him, but he didn't like him, for which he beat the Fuhrer. Hitler grabbed a gun and shot the dog. Hitler had to leave in a hurry. On the way, Fabian runs out of money, calls his boss to ask for cash for a new site, but he pretends that the connection has disappeared. Then he and Hitler decided to earn extra money on their own. Fabian recalls that before becoming a dictator, Adolf loved to draw. They stop at the square of a small town and invite passers-by to draw their portraits. But Hitler doesn't draw very well. Despite this, most passers-by are willing to pay for his eccentric appearance, so Fabian and the Fuhrer managed to earn money to continue filming. The way was launched, and videos with the participation of the Fuhrer gained 1 million views. With this, Zawadzki came to his boss Christoph. He was not eager to acquaint Hitler with his superiors, but the Fuhrer himself went to the meeting. Then he made an impression on Katia Bellini, and she decides to put him in the evening program with the highest rating. Christoph sees this as an opportunity to remove Katia from the post of director, instructs the comedian to write offensive to Jews and other segment of population jokes that Hitler must say on live. But when the Fuhrer comes to television and is given microphone, he refuses to read the text from the page. He waits a long time in silence and then pushes a speech about the problems of Germany and the inability of a weak government to solve these problems. He inspires people, and Katia Bellini wins. Despite the process of the host of the show, Hitler, put on the air more and more often, appears in various television programs where he is mistaken for a little crazy actor. However, the public loves Fuhrer because he talks to them about what others are silent about. Hitler is getting acquainted with the internet. He sees himself being praised by bloggers. Christoph is hesitant to try to remove Katia Bellini from office. Crew Meyer informs Christopher Wu that the TV channel has to pay the bill for the killed dog, so he learned that the Fuhrer shot the dog and there is a record that he did it. Christoph decides to take this opportunity to eliminate both Hitler and Bellini. The Fuhrer is invited to another show where the host launched the same video with a dead dog. Viewers are indignant, they are not ready to forgive even such a charismatic actor for beating an innocent animal. Christoph has achieved his goal and gets promoted Katja is fired. Hitler has to sit in Fabian's apartment. Here the Führer writes his book and Fabian plans to make a film on it. With the idea of making a movie, he comes to Katie Bellini and she agrees to work with the Führer. Hitler is becoming popular again. He even recruits a team of guards. Meanwhile, Christoph TV channel is losing rating without Hitler. Christoph does not know how to get out of the situation, so he goes to Zawadzki. Fabian is already making a film about Hitler in full force. He is played by an actor in a silicone mask. There is also an actor who is playing Christoph. Christoph offers Fabian cooperation. Fabian needs to shoot a scene of how Hitler appeared in the modern world, but Führer himself does not remember this. Then Zawadzki picks up old notes and see how the court is filled with the fog before the appearance of the Führer. Fabian Zawadzki understands that all this time he was traveling with the real Hitler in Germany. Zawadzki runs to the hospital where the Führer was placed after being beaten by the neo-Nazis, but he has already been discharged. He informs Kate Bellini that Adolf is real, but she passes him on to orderlies and places him in a psychiatric institution. But the ending of the film about Hitler turned out to be different. On it, Fabian brought the Führer to the roof and shoot, but Hitler appeared again. He convinced Zawadzki that all the atrocities that were committed during his rule could because the tyrant Adolf lives in each of them. Fabian will never get rid of his inner Hitler, even though he shot the real one. The film received its share of fame, and Katia Bellini regained her former position. Together with the Führer, she travels to modern Germany by car, and Fabian Zawadzki will spend all his day in a psychiatric institution.